One of the other things I'm reminded to teach my students, especially on the EMF, is putting together what I call an inventory of awesomeness. Most of the time, as we've already heard by some of the questions here, growing up, we hear the word no a lot more than we hear the word yes. Why? Because kids and toddlers want to explore, and there's not always stuff that we want to do that's conducive to our health, like wonder what happens if we put our finger in this socket, right? So or wonder what happens if we walk too close to the edge. So parents are constantly, through the fear of loving us and protecting us and not wanting us to get hurt, are looking more for danger. It stimulates the amygdala rather than trying to reward us and support us in the positive. So we hear the word no a lot more than yes as default. Plus, if we've been exposed to any kind of media on a consistent basis, and guys, I'll be honest, I haven't seen nada, news article, report, post, nothing on what people are talking about right now over in Eastern Europe. Not my movie. I can do more for those people by meditating for an hour and sending love than I can getting involved in some sort of, oh my God, woe is me, quick, let's donate something to some. Honestly, remember, a rising tide lifts all ships, but that doesn't exist. If I lower myself to a frequency of anxiety, worry, sympathy, judgment, all of that kind of stuff, that ain't going to help. That's where it comes in. If I make somebody else's problem about them rather than me, I'll lose my power. And coming from power is where self-mastery lives. It's not being discompassionate. It's not saying you're not helping. I had somebody reach out to me recently who was a refugee in Poland. I'd met them actually when I was working in the Ukraine last year. And they reached out and says, I'm 7 months pregnant. Can you help? I'm now a refugee in Poland. I met you, seemed a nice guy. You're part of the film crew that I was working with. And on stuff like that, I can make a call that, yes, I can be compassionate and go help somebody. But it's not my movie. And I don't do it out of guilt, duty, or obligation. I do it out of what I said earlier from Norman Schwarzkopf. Do what's right. And if what's right is they need to figure it out, and that's your truth, then that's your truth. If you're saying, I can't be bothered because I don't give a crap, that's different. But you express from your place of values. And if your values have been conditioned to be fear-based, you're always going to react to that stuff from the same frequency. I can't afford to let me do that because I wouldn't be doing a service to you guys if I was coming from that place. Hopefully that makes sense. But an inventory of awesomeness is great, because we have been conditioned to hear no more than yes. So write down the things that are great about you. The reason you can't think of any is because you haven't spent time thinking of any. The reason that you believe that everybody else has said awful things about you is because you haven't spent time looking in the different direction. Everything is available. Now, if I was to invite you to play 2 games, play this game of imagination with me. One is the game of write down 10 things that suck about my life. And if you do that, there's $1 million on the table if you can complete the 10 things. How many people would be fairly confident they could win that game? To be honest, I could too. But here's the other game. I say, well, hang on, no, we're not going to play that game. Just before you pick your pens up, we're actually going to play the game of who can write 10 things about their life that's awesome. And if you find 10 things, I'll put $1 million on the table. I bet every single one of you would go for that $1 million. Now here's the point. Both games are available. Which one do you want to play? Case closed. So many people are by default unconsciously being sucked into the drama of, let's write all the things down that suck about my life. And they're forgetting that there's an entirely different game that you can go play. You start focusing on what's great about my life, you're going to start tuning into a different movie script, and you're going to start seeing different scenes appear in your life that correlate that. Hopefully that makes sense. Kiwi says, how do I catapult myself out of a lack of self-belief into a positive mind when I'm not yet succeeded at any business I've ever tried, and I've now lost the sense of what I value and I have to contribute to the world? What better questions can I be asking? What better things can I be telling myself? Well, again, what we see here is a classic case of building a negative reference frame. Because if you're linking success to success in business and you haven't succeeded yet in business, you're going to lose confidence. You're going to believe things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not cut out for this, etc. So the question is, what is your association to failure? Again, for me, I've probably failed more times than I've won. Let me say that again. I've probably failed more times than I've won. So why do people class me as being somewhat successful? Right? because I keep my average number of tries up and I don't attach my self-worth to my net worth. See, for me, I'm starring in front of the camera in the movie called The Movie of Pete's Life, as you are starring in your own movie. But that's not who I am. I'm not the character. I'm the actor. I'm going to be in more movies to come. I also know that what I do, all the things that I collect, achieve, whatever in this movie, I can't take with me to the next movie. You don't get to keep the props. It doesn't work that way. You may be in the Fast and the Furious and get to drive some nice cars, but the next movie you go to, you say, oh, can I take the car with me? No, it's not in the budget, right? So, when you look at what your association to failure is, are you going to go swing the bat, win or lose? I'll give you a classic example. Dating. Yeah, guys, although it's kind of girls as well these days, but back in my day, it was more guys asking the girls. And if I was to tell you that the fifth girl you asked out was going to be your dream partner, your ideal vision board, whatever you got on there, whether it's a beautiful, kind-hearted soccer mom or a Victoria's Secret model, or whatever it is for you, I don't mind. And it's going to be the fifth person you ask out, but the first four are going to blow you off and tell you you're a loser. Do you want to stay single for the rest of your life, or are you going to say, whoa, hang on a minute, how fast can I get to number 5? Well, swap dating for business. If I told you your fifth business was the one that was going to make you financially successful, what are you going to do? Sit there and never start another business because you don't want to experience 4 failures? But you said, no, it's actually those failures that give me the capital to be able to move forward so that number 5 can go amazingly well. There is no certainty in life. There's no guarantees. Please understand that. Now, if you want a guarantee, buy a toaster. But when it comes to you living your life, your potential, you need to recontextualize your ability to show up in front of camera, to swing the bat, to go have fun, to play, to not limit yourself by what other people project, but realize you are the star of your movie. Whenever you forget that, you subjugate yourself to somebody else's movie. And right now, if you don't have a vision for your life, if you don't have the ability to step into the role of the star of your movie, I've got news for you. There's some other people that are quite happy to hand you a script, as we've seen. Not that I'm mentioning any names, governments, mainstream media, politicians, blah, 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 right? So our job is to recognize that, we are the star of our movie. We don't have to, kowtow to anybody else's script. There are certain limitations, understood, but within the context of that, everybody can live an amazing life. But if you equate amazing life to having lots of money and no problems, you're looking at life through a comfort-centric experience, and you're looking at self-validation through what it is you can achieve rather than who it is you can be.